This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for our cable news gab-fed show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. You have the code of the machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you never stood here. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to Man Talk 133 with Charles and Darl, the movement dedicated to empowering men, uniting brothers, and building a strong coalition. This is more than just a conversation. It's a call to action. Join us as we uplift, support, and inspire men worldwide. Because together, we don't just talk, we lead. We grow and we conquer. Are you ready to be part of the coalition? Let's dive in.
Welcome to Man Talk 133 with Shaw and Daryl. I'm Shaw. Daryl is still getting his stuff right, man. I promise y'all, I can promise y'all, he has not left the show. So calm down. He has not left the show. Getting some things worked out, technical things worked out, but he has not left the show, y'all. So tonight, I'm asking the question, and we're gonna be talking about, where do I belong? Where do I belong? You know, the truth is, we're gonna talk about tonight. The truth is why we join what we join. So, hey, tonight is just me. We're gonna just talk about the truth, y'all. Where do you? Let me start with this question. Where do you belong? Where do you belong? Because, you know, whether we admit it or not, we have all joined something, or followed something, or attached ourselves to something that was not right. You know what I mean? Just to feel like we matter. You know, some people have joined fraternities. I joined fraternity. Some people have joined gangs, churches, friend groups, online communities. And the real question is, did you join because it was right, or because you didn't want to feel alone? You know what I'm saying? So tonight we're talking about basically belonging. We're going to talk about tonight belonging. Now, for clarity, let me get a definition of belonging. Belonging is the deep emotional need to feel accepted, valued, and included as a part of a group, place, or community without needing to change oneself. It goes beyond just fitting in by ensuring individuals feel safe, seen, empowered to contribute. It is essential for the well-being, enhancing job performance by up to 56%, right? So why do people join with it? So where did, just think about this, because I know I'm kind of getting all over the place a little bit, right? The question for me is, where do I belong? So when I joined a fraternity, right? I joined a fraternity some years ago, years ago. Let me bring down my music a little bit for y'all. So I joined the fraternity years ago, spring 2007. And I joined it because I wanted to feel a part of something. You know what I mean? I thought that was the thing to do. I wanted to feel part of a group. I wanted to feel like, hey, respected, because, you know, they respected fraternities and stuff like that. So I joined it because I wanted to feel like I belonged to a part of something. Think about it while I'm going through the show tonight. What is y'all reason for it? Now, belonging is not just a feeling, it's a psychological need, not a want, a need, a need. Human beings are wired. This is how we're wired, y'all. We are wired for belonging. Now, just a few statistics that I'm gonna throw out there. 70% of the people say feeling disconnected affects their mental health. Loneliness increased risk of depression by 40%. Think about that, y'all. Chronic illnesses have been compared to smoking cigarettes, 15 cigarettes a day, a health impact. People with strong social connections are 50% likely to live longer. So we gotta feel like that we belong to something, to something. You know what I mean? Like, you know, let me talk about this too. You know, I was part of the Masonic Lodge. I wanted to feel like I belonged again, because when I was in fraternity, I felt like I belonged. I heard all the other frat brothers say they was part of this. So I wanted to be part of that. So now think about what the stats I just read. That means when you feel rejected, your brain literally treats it like you're being physically hurt, right? So think about it. If you're in pain, people are doing anything or take anything that promises them relief. They'll go to doctors all across the world, right? Because it's promising them relief. This is why cults and con artists are so popular. Think about a con artist that tell you anything to make you feel good. You know what? I think that, you know, I know they promise you the world. They promise you everything. And guess what? They don't deliver on it. That's the same way with, you know, the fraternities and sororities. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me say this too, because I don't want nobody to take what I'm saying wrong. Now, fraternities, I can't speak of sororities. I was never in one. That's a female thing. But fraternities do make you feel like you're part of a brotherhood. You know, if you take a dude that was an outcast back in the day, right? He joined a fraternity, his whole demeanor changes. He feels like he's a part of something. So we're wired to feel like we belong somewhere. The Bible says it's not good for man to be alone. So that's a normal process. That's a normal process. People mask their pain by joining, you know, to these type of things, the gangs and all this stuff like that, right? But this is what people don't just join groups. They join identity. They want to be identified with me, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I want to identify on where the letters, I want where the colors, I wanted to do all of that stuff. The Masonic Lodge, I wanted to do all this. I want the ring. I wanted all that stuff so I could identify. So I didn't just join it. I wanted to be identified with them. So if people knew they mess with him, he got people on the inside. He got some. He a Mason. He dealing with some powerful people. So I don't want to mess with him. I don't want to get involved in. You know what I'm saying? They want to identify with something that makes them look good and feel important, except for one thing. That's God. They don't want to connect themselves to God. They'll join anything else, any fraternity, sorority, motorcycle club, bike club, run club, jog club, sleep club, fight club, whatever club, they're going to join themselves to it. But when you say, hey, you want to give your life to Christ, man, I don't roll like that. So identifying with Christ does not make them feel important. but it should be the most important thing to make them feel important. You get what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. You have a lot of people that want to be associated with celebrities, athletes, so they can feel important. You know, a lot of people, they leave groups and they say, I was the backup dancer for, let's just say, Justin Timberlake or Jennifer Lopez or whomever. And when people hear that, oh, wow, really? They identify with that person so they can feel important, and people will look at them as important. You know what I mean? So the question again is, where do you belong? Where do you belong? Belonging is considered a basic human need based on psychological research. Social rejection activates the brain, the same brain and regions as physical pain. I just went over that. You know, what it does is, somebody ever told you something and by words or rejection and hit to the core, like it really, really hurt you bad, hurt you? That's what this does. That's what belonging, not belonging to some people feels like. It feels like physical pain, like somebody just punched them in their stomach. So, people are more likely to conform to a group when they fear rejection or isolation, i.e. people, I've seen this before, and I know y'all probably have too. Somebody, when they're in school, they're weak, they're feeble, but when they join the military, the police squad, or anything like that, it changes everything about them. Everything about them. The fear and the rejection that they felt when they was in high school, they joined themselves to the military, and some of them go try to join the toughest branches ever. I'm gonna join the Marine Corps, and I'm gonna show them. They ain't saying it, but they feeling like that. I'm gonna show them. You wait till I come back with my dress blues, and you wait till I come back, and they gonna teach me how to fight. Watch what happens. And they do that, and they join themselves to these organizations because of the fear that they felt and the rejection and the isolation. They were bullied in school, basically. This is the reason why some people join fraternities. Let's talk about fraternities for a little while first. Because on the surface, they look positive. Now, let me say this. Now, as a part of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, for the most part, it was positive to me. I never, other than the normal hazing part of things, I've never seen anything negative, no rituals, no crazy stuff people be talking about. Never seen none of that stuff, right? The structure is brotherhood. Now, with Phi Beta Sigma is brotherhood, scholarship, service. Now, the whole structure itself is of all fraternities and sororities. It's brotherhood, sisterhood, networking, and all, structure, brotherhood, and networking. The structure, that's the structure all over, right? Basically, that's the structure for all of them. I know it was with Phi Beta Sigma, right? So let's go a little bit deeper. Why do people join fraternities? Brotherhood, sisterhood, status, identity, networking opportunity, social access, parties influence, legacy, family tradition. Sometimes their families force them to be, I was one, you gonna be one. Period. Ain't no question about it. I don't want to hear no ifs, ands, or buts. Don't look into other fraternity, because if you do, we're gonna kick you out the family. You're done. Don't even come back. That's how strong some people really feel about that, right? Some people join because they, like I said, their father did. Some because they want connections, and some join because they finally want to feel like they're chosen. If they get chosen in this process and they make it through, they feel like they done made it. They got the women, they got the letters, they got the colors, they got the parties to go to, they got the status on campus, they got all this stuff that they really feel now like, hey, I made it. They go back and tell everybody, hey, I'm part of blah 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 now. I'm just saying, It's just what it is. So we're gonna jump back into the rest of this right after the break. Y'all, I'm sorry. You got lost a little bit of track of time. We good. Be right back after the break, y'all.
Signed up to fight for freedom. What a price you had to pay. Picture in a helmet, missing family every day. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane. Some scars we'll never see. She will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter. She's a sister and a friend. Standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her. On that old dusty base with the meadows that shine, she's been to hell and back for the stars and the stripes. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane, and some scars we'll never see, and she will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her. Yeah, yes. For the ones that didn't make it, we will pause and then we cry. We can still see their smile in every sunrise. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back to Man Talk 133 with Shaw and Daryl. Yes, we are back. So before we went to break, we was talking about the fraternities and, you know, why people join the fraternities, and, you know, they want to feel a part of something. They want to feel chosen. They want to had this feeling that they are finally part of something. I made it, y'all. I'm here. Get my colors, get my letters, get my cane, let me twirl it. Whatever, get my mask, let me wear it. All that stuff like that. My boots, let me paint them. All this stuff like that. So let's give just a little bit of background on fraternities, right? Over 9 million Americans have been a part of Greek life. And I'm pretty sure it's more than that. Now, excuse me, about 750,000 750,000 plus college students are active members each year. Around 85% of Fortune 500 executives were involved with fraternities and sororities. Members report higher sense of belonging than non-members. Think about it. So if I join this fraternity, my dad's my line brother's dad is like, he's a part of this big company. So when I get a degree, oh man, especially he part of the fraternity, I got a job. I don't got to worry about that. You know what I mean? That's part of why people join this. They want to feel like they belong to something great, right? And that's, I mean, and I get it because I did the same thing. But how many of y'all know? How many of y'all know that when you're attaching yourself to stuff like that, there are risks. There are a lot of risk involved. A lot of risk involved. Hundreds of hazing incidents reported over time. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Alcohol-related incidents are significantly higher in Greek life environments. You know why? You know why? Because that's a part of their lifestyle. And if you're not willing to take the risk to be a part, if you don't drink and you're not one of those type of people, know where you belong. No, I don't belong here because this is not where I am supposed to be. I'm supposed to be somewhere else. This ain't it. Maybe you need to go join like the campus choir or something. I don't know, whatever it is you need to do, but that would not be where you need to be, because I'm telling you now, Greek life, they love the party. Alcohol is really involved. But here's where it gets real for fraternities. Hazing, physical and psychological harm, peer pressure. I just said drinking, behavior, identity tied to a group, not self. The financial cost, yes, it costs to be a part of these organizations. If you want to be a part of that and you feel like that's where you belong, keep in mind that hazing does go on. Keep in mind you're going to be drinking a lot of alcohol, and keep in mind it's going to cost you to do all of that. So let me get this straight, because I'm just trying to, now that I'm older, I'm getting a grasp of it. So you mean to tell me you get paid to get beat? I mean, you got to pay them to get beat, and hazing and physical, psychological harm and all that stuff. I got to pay them for this. Yes, it's a cost involved. It is not free. These are some of the risks that you are going to run across when you join these fraternities. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't realize. Me, I didn't realize it. But some people don't realize this. You didn't find yourself. You replaced yourself. So whatever your thoughts were, is gone. Now you done picked up their, I forgot the word. You done picked up their traits and what they do, their character. You done picked up whatever they do. That's what you're supposed to be doing. If they said fight, y'all fight. One fight, one team, one fight. It don't matter. If it's 100 of them and it's 10 of us, if one started, all y'all got to go. That's just how it is. So if you are not ready for that, do not join fraternity. That's probably where you don't belong. You probably don't belong there. Now, this next one, people do this and it has a lasting effect forever. I ain't saying fraternities don't either, but I'm just saying this has a more harsher lasting than fraternities, right? Street gangs, gang and street belongings. You have to really make sure this is, because this right here is life or death. Fraternity ain't life or death. This is life or death or jail. Fraternities ain't like that, right? So let's talk about the part people avoid. They try to avoid. It's gangs. They try to avoid gangs, but it ain't that easy. Cause some of the reason why people do join gangs is protection, family replacement, financial survival, respect and identity, environment. They born into it. You think about it. If you took somebody that's a punk, I hate to say it like that, but they're a punk and they just let everybody just do whatever to them, and they got the opportunity to join this gang. Now check this out. Yes, you're going to get beat to be a part of it. You got a certain amount of time. You got to stand in that heat and take it and fight back. And if you can't fight, that probably ain't where you belong. You're going to get yourself hurt really bad. And then they replace your family. Like, you know, that's why it's important that families, mothers and fathers, love on y'all kids straight up and down. Make sure y'all love on y'all kids, because they'll take the gangs as family to replace y'all, because y'all ain't do what y'all supposed to do as parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, your kids struggling financially, help them, give them a blueprint of how you know, like, do I need to go where I can get a job? You got some people where I can get a job at, knowing you work at the company, but you don't want to vouch for your own son or daughter. Hey, I can't. Nah, bro, I ain't gonna get no job over here, because remember the last time he was over here, the job I got him, he acted up, so I ain't gonna do it. And then the respect, when they said, and identity, when they say I'm a blood, or I'm a Crip, I'm a whatever the other ones are, GD, BD, whatever. If they say that, people get scared quick. Like, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying? And they say it with respect, you know, like, hey, I'm a blood, I'm a Crip, and that's the respect and identity that comes from it, because everybody can identify with gang members, you know, gang culture. If you don't know nobody, if you don't have family in it, you know somebody that's probably associated with it, or you've been around it, or whatever, and you know it, and you just kind of go with the crowd, knowing that ain't where you belong. You don't belong there, and you know you don't fit. You know you don't fit, but you do it anyway. Environment, some people can't help it. They're born into it. They dad was one, their mama was one, they sister and everybody one, so they have no choice. The whole block is Bloods, the whole block is Crips, the whole block is whatever they are. So that's probably where they're gonna belong, because they don't have nowhere else to go unless they go against the grain, and sometimes there could be consequences for going against the grain, right? So most people, contrary to what people may think, people don't join gangs because they're evil and they want to do criminal activity. You know, they join because they're missing something. I just listed 5 or 6 things, how many ever was, or why they join gangs, because it's something that they're missing. I mean, family is the first thing, the first line of defense. If you have a good family that knows, that supports and help provide, more than likely they won't go that way. But if somebody on the street show them something better, they're probably gonna go that way, y'all. Let me give a little stats on gangs. To this, when I did my research, right? There are 1 million gang members in the United States. Check out the age group. Most join in between ages of 12 years old, y'all, and 24. And now you got some of them 30, 40 years old talking about they want to join a gang, jump them in. I mean, y'all go sit y'all old self down. Go sit down somewhere, man. Like, stop it. 60% say they join for protection and belonging. Think about it. Somebody 30, 40 years old, they're joining for protection. They gotta be joining. What's the other reason why they're joining? Many come from broken or unstable homes, so they feel like this, their only stability is being in a gang. Over 30,000 gangs. There are over 30,000 gangs nationwide. And I told you, I gave you the stats. Most of them ages what they join in between. They join in between 12 years old, y'all. 12. You got kids 12 years old right now that's gang members because they don't know where they belong. Nobody told them where they belong. You know what I mean? So there's the stuff like that is, it's kind of crazy because they're 12 years old, y'all. 12 years old. And they're in a gang. 12. So, I keep getting all these dings, y'all. Every time I get up here, I'm telling y'all now, people be dinging me. But anyway, I supposed to be going to commercial break, y'all. Let me let me go to commercial break, y'all. Sorry about that. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to commercial break. I got people hitting me up. We'll be right back after the break, y'all.
I wish there was some place that I could go where I got the promise to never be alone. These bars all have last call, and my friends, they ain't home. I wish there was some place that I could go with a heartache this big, a bottle this small. I don't think I'm ready to deal with it all. I need a 24-hour heartbreak saloon where they never have last call and play country tunes. When she walked out of my life, I nearly broke down, drowning my heartache in every bar in this town. Sooner or later, they all closed the doors, and I was left playing guitar at home on the floor with a heartache this big, a bottle this small. I don't think I'm ready to deal with it all. I need a 24-hour heartbreak saloon where they never have last call and play country tunes. With a heartache this big, a bottle this small. I don't think I'm ready to deal with it all. I need a 24-hour heartbreak saloon where they never have last call and play country tunes. Yeah, they never have last call and play good old tunes.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities. they represent.
Welcome back to Man Talk 133 with Shaw and Daryl. And guess what, y'all? Daryl has not left the show, regardless of what y'all sitting on the other end thinking. He has not left the show. He got some things he's working out, getting his technical side right. When he come back, he gonna be ready. He's gonna be stronger than ever when he come back. So tonight I'm talking about, I'm asking the question, where do I belong? Or where do you belong? Now, you know, some people join fraternities. Before we went to the break, we was talking about gangs and stuff like that. And let's hop back into that. Now, the truth is, if you want to belong, you feel like you belong in a gang. For people to feel like they belong there. Gang members, just some stuff for you to think about. Gang members are far likely to be involved in violent crimes, higher likely of incarceration. Many report exposure to trauma, violence, and loss early in life. Let that sink in and marinate for a minute. You want to be a part of that, but look at all the stuff you potentially gonna have to go through and deal with as a gang member. You know what I'm saying? Think about this too. Like they join. They ain't looking for crime. They ain't looking. Some of them may be looking for to commit crime, but a lot of them ain't looking for to commit crime. They're looking for a connection. They're looking for a connection that they didn't have as kids. You know, that's why I was just telling the parents it's important that you make sure your kids feel a part of something. If you got to put them in sports, you got to put them in Wing Chun and Taekwondo and all. Put them in something to make sure they feel a part of something. You know what I'm saying? The gangs just didn't get them danger. It gave them identity. People can identify when they say, "Hey, you know, I'm red rag, blue rag." They understand. They identify with that. Now, I would venture to say, just me, that the Bloods and the Crips and the Sigmas and the Kappas, you know, we blue, they red. And sometimes they don't really like each other. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna try to make them fit together, but I'm just saying it's crazy how even Q's purple and gold, Deltas, you know, whatever colors I think it's crimson and cream, whatever. And you know, Zeta's blue and white. You think about that for 1 second. They fight over colors sometimes. And they fight over colors because it gave them what? Identity. It made them feel a part of this thing. And I'm part of, you know, hey, and some of them said with their chest, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, right? So they feel a part of this fraternity, right? And so, or sorority, you know? So it gave them identity when nobody else said they matter. And the gang said, no, over here you matter. Yeah, you over here, you matter. To us, you matter. Come on over here. They started giving them money. And they started loving on them. And they started doing all this stuff. And guess what? Oh, you know what? They feel like that's the brotherhood. You know what I mean? And they're willing to get beat to get in. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I heard a story one time, right? It was on I think maybe YouTube, Facebook, somewhere. So this pastor was saying was telling this story. So the wife kept asking her husband to come to church. Kept asking him to come to church. He hadn't been to church in a while. So he finally goes to church, right? He goes to church. When he get there, he forgot to cut his ring off. His phone ring, everybody looking around at him, the pastor looking at him, everybody looking at him. You know, his wife slid away from him because she didn't want to be associated with the embarrassment, right? And then, so after the service, the pastor said, hey, I'm kind of paraphrasing the story, but the pastor came up to him and said, hey, you know, your phone went off, while I was in service, that's kind of disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So, if you come to my church, make sure you turn your phone on. In other words, the church frowned on him. He goes up the street after the church to the bar. He's sitting at the bar. He tell the bartender, "Hey, give me another drink." But when he turned around, he knocked the beer over, spilled all over. The bartender, no. She was, I got it. He turned around and knocked some out of another one's hand, and fell on the floor and broke. The dude beside him knocked this couple, fell on the floor, and it broke all the pieces. And the dude jumped up, and the one he knocked this couple, he jumped up, and he was like, so the dude thought he was, going to have to fight. He's like, no, good, calm down, good, man, good. Got you. Don't worry about it. And it went on. Guess what happened? The people in the bar showed him more love in the bar than they did in the church. And guess what? He didn't go back. Because you know why? He felt like he belonged there. He identified with the people that was in the bar. Why? Because they showed him love. They made him feel like he belonged. He ended up never going back to the church, but kept going back to that bar every day. So what I'm saying is, we got to start treating people a certain way so they can feel like they belong as Christians, because I'm a Christian, I identify as a Christian, so we got to treat people a certain way so they can make them feel like they belong. We can't judge them and dog them out every time we get a chance just because. You can't do that. Back to the gangs, the cons of being in the gang life: violence and death risk, incarceration, limited future opportunities, trauma and mental damage. Now let me go back to that limited future opportunities, because once they get a felony, they're limited on what opportunities they can partake of. There's been a lot of people that have been in jail and have felonies and all this stuff and come out and start successful businesses. But they started successful businesses. They didn't go try to work. It's some companies that won't even hire you if you have a felony. You can go work as a temp, but to be a part of this organization, you can't have a felony. And if you get a felony when you're young, you think about it. You get a felony when you're young, you probably can about forget it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get a. Last time I remember, you cannot have a felony and get a CDL. But you can have a CDL, but you can't. Hazmats. You can't get a hazmat. Most of everything now they turn to hazmat. The trauma and mental damage of seeing their friend brains get blown out right beside them. I'm just saying, it's a lot of things that people need to think about to make sure if you really, really, and really, 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 truly belong. Most people join gangs and stuff for protection. And then guess what ends up happening? They need protection from what they joined. Because if you don't do what they ask you to do, it's consequences for it. It's definitely going to be consequences for it. So you need to figure out, honestly, where you truly, truly, truly belong. You know what I mean? All right, so went over the gangs. Now went over fraternities, went over gangs, and the pros and cons. This is what each group offers: identity, belonging, and structure. All of them offer that. This is the group risk: loss of individuality, dependency, and misdirection. For example, if I give everything I have to Phi Beta Sigma, if I gave everything, I would be still probably out there hanging out, partying, doing all this other kind of crazy stuff, because that's what I identify with. I give you a better. I do you one better. I give you a better example. A better example would be somebody's been in the military all their life. They've been in the military for 20 plus years, and some of them not even that long. They've been in the military that long. Guess what? They have adopted the military lifestyle where they are that's what they identify with. They don't know nothing else. Still got the haircut, still got the walk, still got the this and that, all that stuff, still shine their boots. You know what I'm saying? So this is an example of how it can take away your individuality and your identity. Be back. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, y'all. We'll be right back after the break.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's the line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down here the line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back to Man Talk 130 with Shaw and Daryl. Thank y'all for joining tonight. Y'all thought I froze up then. Thank y'all for joining tonight. Tonight we're talking about where do I belong? Where do you belong? Where do we belong? Some people join gangs, some fraternities, some the military, some the police academy, some whatever. Where do you belong? Because some of the stuff I just read with these gangs and stuff like that, I don't think that what folk really, I don't know if they really think they belong there. It sound good, but I don't really think that's where they belong. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, the danger is it's not joining something, necessarily joining something. It's the danger of it is losing yourself in it. You know what I mean? Like, you can get so engulfed in something and forget who you really are. You know what I'm saying? Just you can be in something, you can be like, man, you know what? You ain't never been a fighter, never been a stepping in nobody. You never been none of that. But now, since you got the support behind you, guess what? You done lost yourself in it. Now, before you know it, you find yourself locked up. You find yourself in a position where life ain't the same no more. You know what I mean? You get a charge at a young age. Are you in college? You get kicked out of college, lose your college scholarships if you're playing football and basketball, whatever. And that's not where you belong. Yo, figure out where y'all belong. Figure out where y'all belong. These are the pros for all. I gave you the cons. I'm gonna go over the cons again for all each group. The risk, loss of individuality, dependence, misdirection. The pros for all these groups are community, support system, accountability, and opportunities. There's nothing wrong with joining a fraternity or sorority if you're joining it for the right reason. If you're joining it to help the community, that's kind of what I did, to help the young folk, accountability, holding people accountable, and they're holding you accountable. You got a support system. So if I need something, hey, Fred, let me do, can you help me out with blah, blah, blah? And opportunities, whether it be jobs, whether it be help with whatever it is, these fraternities offer that. Now, I guess gangs were supposed to be meant to do that, I guess. And I guess they do support each other, whether it be good or bad, they support each other. I don't know what opportunities they give other than maybe robbing opportunities. I don't know. Like, I ain't trying to be funny. So don't y'all game members check me and, I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe somebody can, help me understand that. I ain't trying to be funny in that. So yeah, the cons of all groups: groupthink, pressure to conform, identity confusion, loyalty over truth. Now, that pressure to conform is a real serious one, because if you want to be a part of this organization, the infamous Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, do what you got to do. If you want to be a part of, the Bloods, whatever that set they in, do what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to, you had to go ride, and you had to put in some work. You know what I'm saying? And in the mix of that process, you have identity confusion. You're like, this ain't really me, but I got to do this, because if I don't do this, this is gonna do this to me, because the thing that you join is the thing that'll come back to hurt you or try to take you out. So now you're not thinking rational, and now you have, guess what you have? You have loyalty over truth. That's what you have. Loyalty over truth. That's what you're gonna have. You have loyalty over truth. And so those things like that is what really, really kind of hurt people. You know what I mean? Because they hold on for 1 second, y'all. Because the loyalty over truth, their loyalty to the gang of the fraternity is it outweighs the logical truth of what they supposed to be really doing. You know what I mean? Like, for example, you start doing things you normally don't do just to stay accepted. You're not a drinker, but guess what you do? You're gonna go out and you're gonna hang out and you're gonna get drunk and drink till you pass out, and you're gonna do all this crazy stuff that that ain't you. That's not who you are. You weren't raised like that. And a lot of them raised in the church, and they know that ain't how they raised. The problem is People don't know who they are. So what they do is, hey, let me borrow a little bit of y'all identity so I can make myself, so I can prop me up, so I can make me look good. You know what I'm saying? Let me borrow this identity. I gotta have some of y'all identity. I gotta have the letters. I gotta have the colors. I gotta have the backing, so people, when they see me, they'll know I'm a bad dude. You know, this was a true story. When I was in the Air Force, and you know, during the graduate basic training, there was some guys in there. One dude wanted security forces, and the other guy wanted medical. Well, the one that wanted security forces got medical, and the one that wanted medical got security forces. And the dude that wanted security forces was literally crying because he didn't get security forces, because he wanted to go home and paint himself a certain way. Now, I don't know if they got that resolved. They were trying to switch it or whatever. I don't know if that ever worked out for them. But that's how bad he wanted to identify with security forces. And I was like, yo, that's kind of one of the craziest things I ever seen. But it was a real true thing. I seen it myself. That was in my flight. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't define yourself, someone else will. It's a true statement. If they can define you, they can confine you. If they can define who you are, they're going to confine you into a certain space. For example, they define people that's out of jail as ex-cons or ex-husband or ex-wife, and they confine you to a certain place. Every time they oh yeah, that's so and so here, ex-con. And they'll define you, and then they'll confine you in this space where you can't go no further than, because you're ex-con now, and they know that. So don't let people define who you are. Define yourself. That's a fact. Don't do it. Belonging without identity is basically bondage. You do anything to feel accepted. If you don't belong, if you don't know what your identity is, and you don't know where you need to be, parents, I'm coming back to y'all again. Parents, let kids know what their identity is. Help them identify what their identity is at a young age. That way, when they get older, you know, the Bible says, train up a child the way he should go. When he get older, he won't depart from it. Y'all got to do that. Know your identity first. Join what aligns with your values. If you know gang banging don't align with your values, keep it pushing. If you know party hopping and, you know, stepping and all this other stuff does not align with your values, keep it pushing. If you know being at a big church does not align with what you want to do, keep it pushing. Do not trade purpose for acceptance. Be willing to stand alone. The old song, he'll go if I have to go by myself. Y'all, some of the folks out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. So tonight we talked about fraternities, gangs, organizations, but the real conversation was you. Where do you belong? Because the question is not what should I join? The question is who I am. Who am I without it? Who am I without it? Hey, before we get out here, check out all our platforms. Us talking on Facebook, Man Talk 133 on Instagram, Man Talk 133 on Spotify, Man Talk 133 on iHeart, Apple Radio. We all over the place. All you gotta do is put the Man Talk 133 in there, and you'll find us. Hey, thank y'all for joining Man Talk 133 with Charlotte and Daryl. Until next time, God bless and appreciate y'all support as always. And I think YouTube. Don't forget YouTube. Man Talk 133. Till next time, y'all. God bless. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice. Let